I'm organizing the stack of mail on my desk when I spot an envelope from Bellamy Gardens, the most exclusive wedding venue in town. Strange. I don't remember receiving anything from them before. I slide my finger under the flap and pull out a neatly folded contract, the elegant letterhead catching the morning light streaming through my apartment window. My coffee cup freezes halfway to my lips as I scan the document. There it is, my signature at the bottom of a contract, authorizing payments totaling $76,000 for my sister Destiny's wedding. Except it isn't my signature. Not really. The loops are too round, the slant too steep. It's a good imitation, but I'd know my own handwriting anywhere. The room spins slightly as realization crashes over me. This is Destiny's handiwork. Those distinctive curls at the end of each letter. The way she dots her I's slightly to the right. She's forged my name. On a contract for $76,000. My fingers go numb. The coffee cup slips, shatters against the hardwood floor. Dark liquid splashes across my bare feet, but I barely feel it. This can't be happening, I whisper to the empty room. I grab my phone with trembling hands, dialing the venue's number printed at the top of the contract. My heart pounds so hard I can feel each beat in my throat. Bellamy Gardens. How may I help you? A cheerful voice answers. This is Andie Collins. I manage, my voice unnaturally high. I'm calling about a wedding contract for Destiny Collins. Oh, Miss Collins. Yes, we're so excited about your sister's special day. Everyone here is talking about your generous gift. It's not often we see such a beautiful gesture between siblings. The first tear slides down my cheek before I can stop it. My generous gift, the one I never agreed to, the one I explicitly refused. Thank you, I choke out before hanging up. I sink into my chair, memories flooding back unbidden. 16-year-old me working double shifts at the ice cream shop while Destiny lounged by the community pool. My graduation money borrowed for her spring break trip to Cancun. The countless loans that disappeared into the black hole of her wants and needs. You're the responsible one, Mom would say, as if it were a compliment rather than a life sentence. Destiny's just finding herself. 2 months ago, at Sunday dinner, when Destiny flashed her enormous engagement ring, and Dad looked at me expectantly. We were thinking, he'd said, refilling his wine glass. Since you've got that promotion coming, you could help give your sister the wedding she deserves. I'd felt everyone's eyes on me, waiting. My hands had trembled beneath the table as I found my voice. I can't afford that, I'd said, the words barely audible. I'm still paying off my student loans. The silence that followed had been deafening. Mom's disappointed sigh. Dad's furrowed brow, Destiny's pout. Family takes care of family, Andie. Dad had finally said, his voice carrying the weight of authority that had shaped our entire childhood. That's how we raised you. Mom had reached across the table, patting my hand. Don't you want your sister to be happy? After everything you've accomplished, surely you can manage this one thing. But you have that promotion coming, Destiny had chimed in, as if my money were already hers to spend. The venue deposit is due next week. At that moment, I'd seen myself clearly for the first time, not a daughter or sister, but an ATM with a pulse. A resource to be tapped whenever Destiny needed something shiny and new. Now, staring at the forged contract, my phone pings with a new email notification. I glance down, seeing the subject line. Interior design position. Charleston office interested in your portfolio. Eleanor from work had mentioned this opportunity last week. 3 states away, a fresh start. I pick up the contract again, running my finger over the forgery. All those years of sacrificing, of putting my needs last, of being the responsible one, and this is how they repay me, with theft. With fraud. This ends now, I whisper, and something shifts inside me. Something that feels dangerously close to strength. Sleep refuses to come that same night. At 3 a.m, my laptop screen illuminates my face as I search through years of emails. My fingers feel numb, disconnected from my body as I type wedding into the search bar. The results populate my screen. There, buried among wedding spam and Pinterest notifications, I find it an email thread between Mom, Dad, and Destiny from 2 months ago. The subject line reads, Andie's contribution. My stomach knots as I click. She'll give in eventually. Mom wrote, she always does. Remember how she insisted she wouldn't pay for Destiny's car repairs last year? Within a week, she wrote the check. Destiny's reply appears below. If not, we'll figure something out. She's got the credit for it. A wave of nausea washes over me. They weren't just asking for my help, they were planning to take it regardless of my answer. They've been manipulating me for years. I whisper to my empty apartment. I open a new spreadsheet and title it, Family Loans. With methodical precision, I scroll through bank statements, credit card bills, and old emails. Each entry represents a promise broken, a debt unpaid. The summer I worked double shifts to lend Destiny money for her trip to Cancun. The graduation gift from Grandma that disappeared into Mom's temporary need. Dad's business venture that required just a small investment. By sunrise, the spreadsheet contains dozens of entries spanning nearly a decade. The total at the bottom glares back at me. $42,387. And now, a $76,000 wedding venue on top of it all. I rub my eyes, burning from exhaustion and tears I refuse to shed. The Christmas memory surfaces unbidden Destiny's pleading voice, as she borrowed my credit card for just one small gift for Mom. The January statement showed $3. 0-inch charges from designer boutiques. My phone buzzes at 9 that morning. A text from Destiny. Just saw the bridal suite at Bellamy? It's amazing. I'm thinking we should upgrade the flower package too. Only an extra $4 Kelvin. Thoughts? Attached is a photo of her posing in a plush room, champagne glass raised, her fiancé nowhere in sight. I don't respond. 20 minutes later, Mom calls. Andie, honey, did you see Destiny's message about the flowers? The venue needs to know by tomorrow. I'm not paying for flowers, Mom. My voice sounds stronger than I feel. A heavy sigh travels through the phone. This attitude isn't like you, Andie. What will people think if Destiny's wedding looks? Act cheap? The Henderson family has already commented on how generous you're being. Everyone's talking about it. I never agreed to pay for anything. Family supports family. That's how we raised you. Her voice drops, an expertly crafted mixture of disappointment and shame. I just hope you're not becoming one of those selfish career women who forget where they came from. After we hang up, I check my credit score, something I haven't done since buying my car last year. The number has dropped nearly 40 points. A hard inquiry from Bellamy Gardens appears in the activity log, along with a new line of credit. They didn't just forge my signature, they're actively using my credit. My phone rings again, Eleanor from work. Hey, did you think any more about that Charleston position? The hiring manager called me again yesterday. They're really interested in your portfolio. I didn't realize they were that serious, I say, straightening in my chair. Dead serious. The salary is 20% higher than what you're making now, plus relocation assistance. And frankly, Andie, her voice softens. You'd be away from all the family drama you've mentioned. For the first time in days, something like hope flutters in my chest. After we hang up, I call James, the only friend who knows the full extent of my family's financial expectations. They forged my signature, James, for $76,000. Silence hangs between us. Then, that's not normal, Andie. That's exploitation. That's a crime. His words land like permission validation I didn't know I needed. What if I just left? The question emerges before I fully form the thought. Honestly, it might be your only option. They'll drain you dry otherwise. Later, I sit at my kitchen table, updating my resume while Mom sends increasingly frequent texts about wedding details. My hands shake as I type, but not from fear. From something that feels dangerously close to possibility. The interview is scheduled for Monday next week during my lunch break. While my family thinks I'm reviewing fabric swatches, I'll be interviewing for a job 3 states away. Thank you for the recommendation. I tell Eleanor when I see her in the break room the next morning. You've earned it. She squeezes my shoulder. Your designs are exceptional. Charleston would be lucky to have you. For the first time in weeks, I smile. Really smile. I picture a life where my paycheck belongs to me, where no one has access to my credit cards, where family gatherings don't end with my bank account lighter. My phone buzzes with a text from Mom. Destiny added monogrammed napkins to the reception. Only $3 per guest. We're at $300 now. Will you call the venue to approve? I silence the phone and slide it into my desk drawer. Then I open my calendar and block Thursday lunch for important personal business. 3 states might not be far enough, but it's a start. Sunday dinner at my parents' house feels like walking into a trap. Before I even hang up my coat, Aunt Mabel corners me with a teary-eyed hug. You sweet, generous girl. she says, patting my cheek. Funding Destiny's entire wedding. Your mother told everyone. My stomach twists. I think there's been a misunderstanding. Andie, Mom swoops in, linking her arm through mine. The Hendersons were just asking about the venue. Come tell them how you insisted on Bellamy Gardens. The living room buzzes with relatives and family friends, all smiling at me with approval I haven't earned and don't want. Dad stands by the fireplace, holding court. My daughter Andie wouldn't hear of anything less than the best, he boasts to his golf buddies. She said Destiny deserves a perfect day. Words I never said, a generosity I never offered. Destiny flutters between groups, the center of attention in a pale pink dress. She catches my eye across the room and bounces over, something large cradled in her arms. Look what arrived today. She thrusts an elaborate floral arrangement at me. Crystal teardrops hang from silver-dusted roses. Sample centerpieces, only 12 per table, and we need 30 tables minimum. I told them you said the sky's the limit. 30 tables? My voice comes out strangled. How many people are you inviting? Mom appears with her leather-bound planner. We're at 300 now. That feels right for our family, don't you think? 300 guests at a venue I never agreed to pay for. My head pounds. The final guest count is due next week, Destiny continues, oblivious to my expression. Oh, and the planner needs your credit card for the deposit on the ice sculpture. The room spins slightly. I mumble something about needing air and escape to the back porch. Monday lunch break. I sit in my car during lunch, heart hammering as my laptop screen fills with the face of Gregory Winters, creative director at Charleston Home and Design. Your portfolio shows remarkable restraint, he says, studying something off-screen. Most designers your age overdo it, but your spaces breathe. Thank you. I believe in creating rooms people actually want to live in. My voice comes out steadier than I expect. What salary range are you looking for? 3 months ago, this question would have made me stammer apologies for wanting to be paid. Today, something shifts. Based on my experience and the Charleston market, I'm looking for $82,000 annually, plus standard benefits. The words emerge clear and confident. Gregory raises his eyebrows, impressed rather than offended. That's precisely our range for this position. When he makes a joke about Southern hospitality being more than just a saying in Charleston, I laugh a real laugh that startles me with its authenticity. We'll be in touch very soon, he promises as we wrap up. I sit in my silent car afterward, realizing my hands haven't trembled once. During that week, I gather my documents for the confrontation, and that's how the week passes. Saturday brunch arrives with an unwelcome surprise. I'm buttering toast when the doorbell rings. Who could that be? Mom asks with a performance of confusion. The answer comes in the form of Marissa Williams, wedding planner extraordinaire, who breezes into the dining room with 3 bulging portfolios. Andie, finally we meet. She extends a manicured hand. Your sister speaks so highly of you. Now, I brought the updated invoices for your approval. My approval? I ask, accepting the folder she thrusts at me. I flip through pages of extravagant expenses. Custom champagne flutes, monogrammed napkins, a string quartet, imported orchids. Each bears a notation. A. Collins approval required. These charges seem excessive, I say carefully, watching Destiny from the corner of my eye. What's this $10,000 line item for lighting? Marissa frowns. But your sister said you specifically requested premium theatrical lighting for the dance floor. Destiny's face drains of color. Andie loves dramatic lighting. Right, Andie? Could I see all the contracts, please? My voice remains calm despite the rage building in my chest. Andie's just being thorough. Mom interjects, reaching for the coffee pot. Marissa, have you tried my cinnamon rolls? Let me fix you a plate. As they bustle toward the kitchen, I snap photos of the invoices with my phone. That evening, James brings takeout and legal research to my apartment. In this state, you can break a lease without penalty if you can prove identity theft, he says, spreading papers across my coffee table, especially with documentation showing your signature was forged. Eleanor sends 3 links to affordable apartments in Charleston's north area. Not glamorous, her message reads, but clean, safe, and 20 minutes from the office. I click through the virtual tour of a 1-bedroom with a small balcony. The rent is reasonable. The distance from my family, priceless. The official email arrived to my private email account on Tuesday morning, and I got the job. The salary matches what I requested. The start date is 3 weeks away. I drive to an empty parking lot to make the call. I'm delighted to accept, I tell Gregory, my voice strong and certain. That night, I digitally sign a lease agreement for the Charleston apartment. The move-in date aligns perfectly with my escape plan. 2 more weeks until I escape, I whisper to my reflection. Standing in my apartment on Friday night, I survey what I've built through years of hard work. The vintage desk I refinished myself, the watercolor I splurged on after my first promotion, the bookshelf filled with design references. On my dresser sits a photo from my design school graduation. I'm beaming, proud and hopeful, unaware of how my family would use that hope against me. Tears slide down my cheeks, but they feel different, cleansing rather than broken. I deserve to keep what I've earned, I say aloud to the empty room. The weekend becomes a strategic operation. I record Mom discussing Andie's contribution to the wedding. I organize bank statements showing unusual charges. I document every text where I explicitly refuse to pay. Monday morning, I call a moving company. We need to schedule for a specific time, I explain. The 14th, around noon. We can do that, the scheduler confirms. Any particular reason for the precise timing? Yes, I say, drafting an email to the Bellamy Gardens venue, explaining the signature forgery. My family will be at a cake tasting. The moving day arrives with perfect weather. From my window, I watch Mom's SUV pull away with Dad, Destiny, and the wedding planner inside. My phone vibrates continuously with Destiny's messages about fondant options. 10 minutes later, the moving truck rumbles into the parking lot. I take a deep breath, my hand on the doorknob. The movers head up the stairs as my phone lights up again. 7 missed calls from Destiny in the last 3 minutes. The game is beginning. I smile and open the door to my future. We'll start with the labeled boxes, I tell the 2 men in matching blue uniforms. My voice sounds foreign to my ears, steady, authoritative, nothing like the hesitant murmur I've used around my family for 27 years. Inside, I hand the movers a detailed floor plan while dialing my landlord. Mr. Peterson answers on the second ring. I've documented the identity theft situation, I explain, sliding the folder of evidence into my messenger bag. The lease break fee should be waived under tenant protection laws. Wouldn't want this happening to my own daughter, he says after reviewing my documents. I'll have the paperwork ready tomorrow. I hang up, a small victory warming my chest. The movers work with military precision, wrapping my carefully curated furniture pieces while I sit cross-legged on the floor, laptop balanced on my knees. With a few keystrokes, I transfer my accounts to the Charleston branch. Another click cancels my credit cards, requesting new numbers for the replacements. My phone buzzes. Mom's name flashes on the screen, the 5th call in 30 minutes. I silence it, but seconds later, the voicemail notification appears. Andie Collins. Mom's voice wavers between anger and panic. Where are you? The venue needs decisions on lighting packages by 3. Call me immediately. Jetter? 3 more voicemails follow in quick succession. I play each one, recording them as evidence, as the movers empty my bedroom. My phone pings with a text from Destiny. What the hell, Andie? The venue says you haven't confirmed anything. I swear if you ruin this for me, I'll never forgive you. 10 seconds later, answer your damn phone. 20 seconds. After everything we've done for you, this is how you repay us? Each message forms another link in a chain of evidence. I save them all. Dad's voice booms from the next voicemail. Family takes care of family, Andrea. You have responsibilities here. Don't make me come find you. K. I save this one twice. As I pack other boxes, the buzzing pauses long enough for me to check Facebook. Mom's status update appears at the top of my feed. Heartbroken when children forget where they come from, after everything we sacrifice as parents. Comments flood in beneath it. My college roommate Lisa writes, Andie is the most responsible person I know. There must be some misunderstanding. My cousin Jennifer chimes in. Wait, I thought the wedding was being scaled back? Aunt Carol told me it was costing over $70,000? Destiny's bridesmaid Tara asks, who's paying for all this? I thought Andie was just handling the coordination, not the cost. I smile as the first cracks appear in their carefully constructed narrative. My phone rings again, James, this time. The truck with your bookshelf and desk just left my place, he says. Everything's secure in my spare room until you're ready. Thanks, James. I don't know what I'd... Stop. You'd do the same for me. He pauses. Eleanor called. Your office is ready whenever you arrive. The weight on my shoulders lightens for the first time in months. Your new landlord emailed. James continues. She's fine with the early move-in, and Sarah from college says her guest room is yours for the transition week. Tears blur my vision as I realize I'm not doing this alone. My laptop pings with an email notification. The wedding venue's logo appears in the subject line. Urgent. Payment deadline notice. I open it, reading the polite but firm reminder that the next installment of $22,000 is due in 3 days or the reservation will be canceled. My phone buzzes with a text from my mother's friend who works at the catering company. Your mom asked me to extend the deposit deadline again. I can't keep doing this, Andie. Business is business. Another notification, a message from Destiny's future mother-in-law. Andie, as parents, we are concerned about the wedding finances. Could we discuss this before Sunday's dinner? My stomach flips as I realize how quickly their house of cards is collapsing. Later, while the movers load the last of my belongings, a text from Destiny's roommate pops up. Just for your information. Destiny's crying in her room about possibly having to cancel the florist and photographer. I take a deep breath as I prepare to walk out of my apartment for the last time. My gaze catches on the lone coffee mug I've left behind, the one that shattered the morning I discovered the forged contract. I've glued it back together, leaving visible cracks running through the ceramic. It sits on the counter with a note. Some things, once broken, can never be the same. Have you ever had to walk away from a situation to protect yourself? What gave you the courage? 4 days after moving, the text messages arrive like a swarm of hornets. 23 in the first hour after Mom discovers my empty apartment. 37 more by nightfall. How could you abandon your family? Mom writes. Dad's voice crackles through my voicemail. There could be legal consequences for backing out now, Andie. Think about what you're doing. I place my phone on the coffee table of my new Charleston apartment, watching it vibrate with incoming calls. The late afternoon sun casts long shadows across the hardwood floors. I've been here exactly 4 days, and already it feels more like home than any place I've lived before. Aunt Meredith calls next. Your mother is hysterical, dear. Everyone's so confused about what's happening with the wedding. Can't you just come to your senses? I let her message play to completion, noting how easily my relatives have been enlisted as reinforcements. The calendar on my kitchen wall shows the wedding date circled in red. 1 week from today. My phone lights up with Destiny's name. Against my better judgment, I answer. You selfish, ungrateful witch, she hisses. After everything we've done for you. Everything you've done for me? I repeat, my voice steady in a way that surprises me. Pay for the wedding or you're dead to me, she says. Simple as that. That's your choice to make. I end the call before she can respond. My laptop screen glows as I open my email. The document I've spent weeks preparing is attached, ready to send. I click on it one last time, reviewing each element. Formal letter to Bellamy Gardens explaining the forged signature. Handwriting analysis report highlighting the differences between my signature and the forgery. Audio file of Destiny telling her maid of honor, I signed Andie's name as a favor, to push things along. I press send. Within the hour, my phone rings with an unfamiliar number. The venue manager's voice is professionally restrained, but I hear the underlying tension. Miss Collins, we've received your email. This is highly unusual. We'll need to speak with your sister and parents immediately. I understand, I say. I've also notified my lawyer to contact the credit bureaus. The contract was signed without my consent or knowledge. After the call ends, I draft one more email, this one, to my extended family. I keep my explanation dignified, factual. No accusations, just evidence. I attach copies of text messages where I explicitly refuse to pay, bank statements showing the pattern of financial exploitation, and the venue's confirmation that the signature doesn't match my identification. My phone begins ringing again almost immediately, but not with the calls I expect. It's my cousin Thomas. Holy smokes, Andie. The venue just called Uncle Jim demanding immediate payment or they'll cancel everything. What's going on? Ask Destiny, I say. Or better yet, ask her fiancé's parents. I believe they've just been informed about the forged contract. Over the next few hours, reports filter in through family text chains, wedding guests receiving postponement notices, my parents frantically calling relatives asking for emergency loans, Destiny in tears at the florist, canceling the exotic arrangements, the groom's father insisting on a prenuptial agreement. When my phone finally goes silent around midnight, I pour a glass of wine and step onto my small balcony. The Charleston night air wraps around me like a warm blanket. For the first time in years, my shoulders aren't tight with tension. When I call Destiny the next morning, she answers on the first ring. Come to apologize? Her voice is rough from crying. No, I say, the word clean and simple on my tongue. I forgive you, but I won't forget. You've ruined everything. I've started over, I correct her. Charleston is beautiful. My new firm values my work. My apartment gets morning Sunday. We're your family, she whispers. The wedding bill is the consequence of your choices, not mine, I say. Maybe it's time you learned what that feels like. I end the call before she can respond, placing my phone back on the counter. According to James, who still lives in my old city, my parents spent yesterday meeting with loan officers. Destiny has downsized from 8 bridesmaids to 4. The extravagant ice sculpture has been canceled, along with the fireworks display and the designer gown. My mother's final voicemail arrives that evening as I'm arranging books on my new shelves. Andie, she begins, her voice catching. We never meant for it to go this far. I let the message play to its end, then delete it without replying. Outside my window, the sun sets over Charleston, painting the sky in colors I never saw in my old life. Some bridges burn for a reason. I close my eyes and breathe deeply, feeling the weight of 76,000 expectations finally lifting from my shoulders. 3 months later, the morning light streams through my Charleston apartment windows, catching the spines of my design books as I arrange them on the reclaimed wood shelves. 3 months ago, these same books were packed in hurried desperation. Today, they stand as colorful sentinels of my new life. I smooth my hand over the coffee table I found at a local antique market, feeling the grain of the wood beneath my fingertips. My apartment is modest, but mine truly mine, with no financial ghosts lurking in the corners. My phone buzzes with a message from Eleanor, wishing me luck with my newest project. I adjust my blazer, catch my reflection in the hallway mirror, and notice something different in my posture. My shoulders no longer hunch forward, carrying the invisible weight of family obligation. The southern sunrise bathes my small balcony in gold as I sip my coffee. The lightness I feel isn't just the absence of debt, it's the presence of possibility. 3 months into my new position, Marcus, the senior designer, leans against my desk on Friday afternoon. Andie, we need these concept boards finalized for Monday's presentation. I know it's your weekend, but... He trails off, expectation hanging in the air. I'm sorry, but I have plans this weekend, I reply, surprised by the steadiness in my voice. I'd be happy to come in early Monday to help finalize everything. His eyebrows lift slightly. Really? I figured you'd be all about earning some brownie points. I value my personal time, I say, the word no, resting comfortably on my tongue instead of sticking in my throat like it used to. I'll deliver excellent work during work hours. Later, walking along King Street, I marvel at how easily that boundary formed. No rehearsal needed, no guilt afterward. My therapist calls this progress. Doctor. Levine's office has become a weekly sanctuary where family patterns are dissected with clinical precision. The first time you say no is the hardest, she told me during our initial session. Each time after gets a little easier. My journal entries confirm this. The first week in Charleston, woke up panicking about money. Last week, spent the whole day exploring without checking my phone once. The genuine laughter that bubbles up during lunch with my new colleagues startles me. At first it sounds foreign to my own ears, after so many months of tension. My housewarming gathering is small but vibrant a week later. Eleanor flew down for the weekend, bringing a potted fiddle leaf fig that now stands proudly by my living room window. James sent a care package with a handwritten note. Proud of you doesn't begin to cover it. Eleanor raises her glass. To new beginnings and true family, the kind we choose. I blink back tears, realizing family isn't always determined by blood, but by who shows up when it matters. When Tara, our junior designer, confides about a client demanding extra revisions without payment, I recognize the familiar pattern. Your work has value, I tell her, sharing my boundaries without sharing my scars. And so do you. The satisfaction of helping someone avoid the path I traveled feels like closing a circle. When the email with pictures of Destiny's significantly downsized wedding appears on my screen, I feel no surge of vindication. I simply send a congratulations card online and continue with my day. The absence of anger surprises me most, not because I've forgiven, but because I've moved beyond needing to. At sunset, I stand at the Charleston waterfront, the letter from my mother heavy in my hands. The envelope contains the first hints of genuine remorse I've seen in years. I don't rush to respond. The guilt that would have consumed me months ago has been replaced by quiet acceptance. Some bridges burn for a reason, I whisper to the horizon, watching the sun sink into the harbor. The water stretches endlessly before me, full of directions I might choose to sail. Is forgiveness always necessary for healing, or is sometimes walking away the greatest gift you can give yourself? I don't know the answer yet. But for the first time, I have the space to figure it out on my own terms.